I always sat in the last row, corner seat, not because I was cool, because I was invisible there, and invisible was safe. Her name was Sarah. Everyone knew her. Everyone wanted her. I never said a word to her, not because I didn't want to, because I had nothing to offer. I watched her laugh with her friends, watched her toss her hair when she was thinking, watched her save seats for people who didn't deserve them. I was a ghost, but ghosts still feel. My notebook was falling apart, tape on the spine, coffee stains on the pages. I'd see her leather-bound one and think, we live in different worlds. Hers had color, mine had eraser marks. I failed my first calculus midterm, stared at the grade for 10 minutes, thought of my father working double shifts. I couldn't afford to fail, but my brain was exhausted, and so was I. Every night, I tutored high school kids under a streetlight. Algebra, geometry, things I barely understood myself. The money went to bus fare and instant noodles. I never complained. Complaining costs energy I didn't have. One day, a gift card appeared on my desk. No name, no note. I never used it. Not because I was proud, because I didn't know who to thank. And I didn't deserve kindness I couldn't return. Kabir asked her out in the courtyard. Everyone watched. She said no. I was in the library, didn't see it. But I heard about it later, and I felt nothing, because she wasn't mine to hope for. It was raining. A stray cat was shivering near the library. I shared my umbrella with it. Pathetic, right? Boy who couldn't afford a new shirt, sharing an umbrella with a cat, but that cat needed something. And I understood needing. I heard her laugh once, really laugh. Not the polite one she used with professors, a real one. Loud, unfiltered. I closed my eyes and memorized the sound. I still hear it sometimes, in crowds, in my dreams. No one ever sat next to me. The seat was always empty. I told myself I preferred it that way. But sometimes, late at night, I imagine her there, asking me for notes, smiling at something I said. Stupid. I know. My father called me once at midnight. Don't worry about money, beta. Just study. I hung up and cried. Then I opened my textbook. Because that's what sons do. They keep going. I had one good shirt. It tore near the collar. I wore it anyway. No one noticed. Or maybe they did and just didn't care. Either way, it was fine. I wasn't there to be seen. Sometimes I caught her looking at me, just for a second, then she'd look away. I told myself I was imagining it. Girls like her don't look at boys like me, but part of me hoped, and hope is dangerous. I went to sleep that night like any other. Exams were coming. Father was fine. The world made sense. I didn't know it was the last night of my old life. No one ever does. My phone rang during class. I never got calls. I stepped outside. My mother was crying. Your father, hospital. Come now. I don't remember leaving the campus. I just remember running. I got there too late. He was already gone. Heart attack, just like that. One moment he was alive. The next, a body under a white sheet. I didn't scream. I just sat there, empty. We buried him the next day. Relatives I'd never met came. Said words I didn't hear. I stood by the grave and thought, now I'm the man of the house. I was 21, I wasn't ready. I packed my dorm room that night. Threw everything in a bag. Notebooks, clothes. The library book I never returned. No note, no goodbye. I couldn't face anyone, especially her. I walked out of the hostel at 3 a.m. No one saw me. The gates were open. The guards were sleeping. I didn't look back. If I had, I might have stayed. And staying would have broken my family. My mother was waiting at home. I told her I dropped out. She didn't cry. She just held my hand and said, your father would understand. That made it worse. That made everything worse. I lay on my childhood bed that night. stared at the ceiling, and I thought of her. Sarah, her laugh, her eyes, the seat I never offered. I whispered, "I'm sorry I never said hello." No one heard, no one ever did. I worked the night shift at a warehouse, stacked boxes until my back screamed, my hands bled, my eyes burned. Every night I told myself, this is temporary. Every morning I wondered if I was lying. My mother woke me for Fajr every day. 4 a.m. tea, prayer, silence. She never asked if I was okay. She knew I wasn't. She just prayed beside me. And somehow that was enough. I got a data entry job during the day, typed numbers into spreadsheets for 8 hours. My eyes went blurry, my soul went numb, but the money went into a tin. And the tin was my hope. I called it my tuition tin. Every extra rupee went inside, coins, notes, whatever I could spare. After 18 months, it was full. I held it in my hands and cried, not because I was sad, because I was still here. I studied at a 24-hour diner, textbooks spread next to a single cup of coffee. The waitress started saving me a booth. She never asked my story. I never offered. Some kindnesses don't need words. I re-enrolled at the university. Different batch, different faces. No one knew my name. I sat on the last row again. Corner seat, just like before. But this time, I wasn't hiding. I was surviving. Sometimes I stayed after class, sat in the empty lecture hall, looked at the rows where she used to sit, 3 rows ahead. I'd close my eyes and pretend she was still there. Pathetic, right? But it kept me going. I graduated alone. No family in the crowd. Mother couldn't afford the trip. I walked across the stage, took my degree, and walked back to my seat. No one clapped for me, but I clapped for myself. Inside. I went to my father's grave after graduation, laid my degree on the soil. "I did it, Abba," I whispered. The wind blew, the grass swayed, and for a moment I felt him. Proud, tired, at peace. I got a junior analyst job at a small firm. Low pay, harsh boss, long hours. I didn't complain. I'd survived worse. But every night, walking home, I'd look at the stars and wonder, is she happy? A reunion invitation appeared on my phone. Old batch. I scrolled the guest list, held my breath. Her name was there. Sarah. I closed the laptop, opened it, closed it again. Then I RSVP'd. Yes. I bought a new suit for the reunion. First new clothes in 3 years. Stood in front of the mirror and didn't recognize myself. "You're not that boy anymore," I said. "You're just a man gonna see a woman he never spoke to." I didn't sleep the night before. Lay in bed, stared at the ceiling, thought of all the things I wanted to say. "I'm sorry. I missed you. I loved you then. I love you now." None of them felt right. I drove to the resort in silence. No music, no radio, just my heartbeat. I almost turned back twice, 3 times, but I kept going because I'd spent 5 years running away. It was time to run towards something. I arrived late on purpose. Didn't want the small talk. Didn't want the "where are you now?" questions. I walked past the crowd, past the music, past the laughter, and I went straight to the shore. Alone, like always. I stood by the shore, watched the waves, told myself she probably wouldn't come, or if she did, she wouldn't see me. I was good at being invisible, but this time, I didn't want to be. This time, I wanted her to find me. I heard footsteps on the sand, soft, hesitant. I didn't turn around. I was scared. Scared it wasn't her. Scared it was. Scared of what I'd say. Scared of what I'd feel. So I just stood there, waiting. And then I heard it. Her voice, after 5 years. "You left?" 2 words, not angry, just sad. I closed my eyes, breathed, and turned around. She was there. Blue dress, tired eyes, my Sarah. I had to. That's what I said, not I missed you, not I'm sorry. Just, I had to. Because it was the truth. And after 5 years of silence, she deserved the truth. She said, "You could have said goodbye." And I felt those words like a knife. Because she was right. I could have, but I was a coward. A broken, tired, scared coward. "I couldn't," I said. "Because if I'd seen your face, I would have stayed." She didn't speak for a long time. Neither did I. The waves filled the space, and somehow that silence was more honest than any words we'd never said. We sat on the sand. She told me she searched for me, cried for me, kept a library book I'd forgotten. I told her about the warehouse, the diner, the tin, the night shifts that broke my body but not my spirit. I told her about the letter. I wrote it the night I left, sat in my childhood room, told you everything, that I loved you, that I was sorry, that I'd find you someday. I never mailed it. I was too scared. She took my hand. I looked down at our fingers. Her skin was soft. Mine was rough, scarred, calloused. "I have nothing to offer," I said. She squeezed my hand. "You're here, that's everything." And for the first time in 5 years, I believe someone. "I used to think you were a star I couldn't reach," I said. She laughed. "And I used to think you were a wall I couldn't break." We laughed together. Real laughter, the kind that comes after years of silence, the kind that heals. We walked to the pier as the sun rose. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just let myself feel it. Her warmth, her trust, her presence. After 5 years of nothing, I had everything. She lifted her head, looked at me, and said it. "Rayan, I've loved you since the last row, since the torn collar, since the stray cat. I love you." I smiled, the first real smile in 5 years. "I know," I said. "I've loved you longer. I just didn't know how to tell you." 6 months later, I opened a coffee shop, named it The Quiet Corner. She sits in the last booth now. Every day, blue dress sometimes, jeans other times. I make her coffee. 1 sugar. I remembered. She looks at me from across the room, smiles, and I think of that boy in the last row. Faded notebook, torn collar, invisible. He'd never believe this, but I'm not invisible anymore, because she sees me, and she always did. So, that's how a boy from the last row ended up here. Faded notebook, torn collar, empty pockets, and now Kots, a coffee shop, a corner booth, her. I never thought I'd get to tell this side of the story. The warehouse nights, the tuition tin, the letter I never sent. But here we are. If you made it this far, thank you. Really. If you liked our story, hers and mine, please like, share, and subscribe to Flipbook Wisdom. And if you want to hear Sarah's side, the longing, the tears, the seat she saved for me, you can find the link in the description, because every love story has 2 voices. This was mine. Now go build yours. See you at the quiet corner.